Hey everybody, this is the Decipher the Media Podcast, the podcast where we talk about all forms of creative digital media. This is episode number 6 featuring Gena Weiss and Brandon Keenan. This episode we actually shot back before the premiere in January of Body Farm. So this episode I've actually had for quite a while now, and we're finally getting around to releasing this episode because the film Body Farm is going to be shown at the Pittsburgh Independent Film Festival in less than 24 hours. So I wanted to get this episode out. This podcast was shot just like the one we did with Tim Roberts and Kevin Hania. This podcast was shot at Rivertown Poorhouse, and we talked about the film premiere back in January. This episode, I got to sit down with Gena and Brandon and talk about their roles on set. Gena was an actor on the film, and she actually was part of the opening scene of the film. And Brandon was also an actor, but as well as a director and a producer on the film. So he wore multiple hats during the production. You know, we've talked about Body Farm before, so this is just a little bit more information from some key players in the production. And as you can see from this podcast, which was recorded ramping up to the initial premiere back in January, I was still kind of getting used to doing the whole podcasting thing, so I apologize if it's a little rough around the edges, at least for my part, and me asking questions and doing it, being a general host on the podcast. So we got to talk about Gena's experience on set in front of the camera and her shooting the opening of the film, as well as the special effects that were involved in that scene and for the rest of the film, and all of the overall horror elements that were included using special effects and the like. So, and then Brandon and I got to talk a little bit about our first film project together, which was called 5 Minutes. That was actually a 48-hour film project that we did, I believe it was around 2013. And I just want to give a special shout out to Megan Myers and the other Juniata crew that helped me out at the time. I mentioned them in the podcast, but unfortunately I kind of was having a brain fart at the time. So I just want to give a quick shout out to those guys. You guys definitely helped us out on 5 minutes, even though that was a while ago. But, I just want to reiterate, I really appreciate your help on that production. And switching back to Body Farm, we just got a chance to talk about, what we did and how we got to have fun on set. So here we are with Decipher the Media, episode number 6, with Gena Weiss and Brandon Keenan. Enjoy. So this is going to be possibly another episode shot in the same place. If it is, we are currently at Rivertown Poorhouse. Not to be confused with Rivertown Pub, because those are, as I addressed earlier, those are two completely different places.
They are?
Yes.
They still have the great same food, though.
Do they? Okay. I've not been to the other one.
You haven't lived.
So, but yeah. So, this is one of our shooting locations for Body Farm. We're doing some special recordings prior to the release or the premiere of the film, I should say, which is going to be January 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Oakmont Theater. I mentioned before, you can find tickets at bodyfarmmovie.com. They are $8 if you buy them ahead of time online. $10 at the door if you happen to forget. Go get some tickets, support your local film industry, support us, because we definitely put a lot of work into this film.
That we did.
Yeah. So, all right, let's kick it off. How have you guys been? Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, go ahead, Gena.
I'm Gena Weiss. I played Justine in Body Farm.
I am Brandon Keenan. I play Eric in Body Farm.
Okay.
And I also, Nick and I were quote-unquote co-directors and producers on the film.
Okay.
But first off, I do want to say thank you very much for having us. I really do appreciate you having us all on here. And obviously the last podcast that we did.
Oh, yeah.
We're here trying to decipher... Wait, is it Decipher?
Decipher the Media.
We're deciphering the media right now, so...
I think you called it the wrong thing on the first episode, but I was like, yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Well, I'll try to get rid of this one. We are here tonight deciphering the media.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, Decipher the Media, podcast about where we talk about media and stuff I like. And, so we're just going to talk about the film Body Farm.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, grill us away. Go ahead. Just whatever you want to ask, we'll...
Yeah, so, I'm trying to think about what all we didn't cover on the first episode that we did.
I would assume you guys, I haven't heard it yet, but I would assume you guys probably covered a ton of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, we definitely, on the last episode, I say the last episode, it was literally just like 20 minutes ago that we were recording. I was recording with Kevin.
A while back there.
A while back there, when I was recording with Kevin and Tim. We definitely talked about, our roles on set. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about, we haven't gone into like the acting at all, I don't think, at least.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I feel like I've talked a lot in the last, 2 weeks now about myself. I feel like, Jenna, if you want to go ahead and talk, feel free to ask away for her. I mean, I don't know what her experience was honestly like, because I wasn't the one that was on a operating room table.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like for you?
It was really cool. It wasn't anything I've ever done before. So to be, like you said, on an operating table was cold, but but it was thrilling. A lot of blood. We'll just say.
Yeah. Definitely, we definitely covered. I mean, we talked about the one day that there was a lot of blood on set. I mean, we've had several of those days, but there was one in particular.
I definitely had your work cut out for you as a director of photography. I would imagine that your job is probably one where a director of photography comes to the table and is not looking forward to having to throw away their clothes because they're covered in blood and guts and brain matter. But yeah, I mean, you were along for the entire ride, and I think Jenna's your first day of shooting was equally as
it was a very
a little. It was. Well, anybody that knows me knows that like my films, and I've only ever done a small handful of films. They always have buckets of blood and guts and brain matter and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it fun, exactly. So that means it's like we're children and we can play around in it, and have a good time. So I feel like you knew, Steve, what you signed up for.
Yeah, because it was much of the same when we filmed the 48-hour film project.
Oh God, that was vile.
In your basement.
Yeah. That was probably one of the more. I feel like that was probably our introduction into me being a very gross filmmaker, I guess, when it comes to horror films and all the blood and guts and stuff that comes with it. I feel like we had a lot of vomit and blood in one small room, and we used that same room and redecorated the whole thing.
Yeah, that was also that same room was used in Body Farm.
Yeah.
So if you want to see, see some movie magic. Go find 5 minutes. I think it's still online somewhere. I think I have it on my YouTube page.
Yeah, it's called The First 5 Minutes, and it's on YouTube.
It's just 5 minutes. It's like 5 minutes, ...
Is that what it is, 5 minutes? Okay, 5 minutes.
You don't even know the title of your own movie.
I know, it's awful. I know. Well, Mike Reaping was in it, too. That was the first time I ever got a chance to work with him.
Yeah, Reaping was in it. I had a couple of colleagues from Juniata College, which is where I went to school.
Yes.
They came and helped out on the film. So they were on set. We had what was it? One of them was an actress on it.
Yeah, and I don't remember the names of all of them, but
Yeah, I'm kind of
there was
blanking
two
on
of them
some.
that did the sound, and they were awesome. They were great.
Yeah.
I'm friends with them on Facebook, and I'm really, really sorry that I don't recall your names off the top of my head.
Yeah, let's
but
see.
they both were. I think one was Megan.
Yeah, Megan was like the contact person for me. I got in touch with her, and she was able to gather up like all these other people to Megan. I can't remember her last name now.
Well,
feel really bad.
Megan, I'm sorry because I know
Yes.
that you're probably going to see this, and I apologize. But that was actually the start, I feel like, of our filmmaking relationship, because I don't believe that you and I ever had worked on a film prior to that.
Well,
Aside from
you
Nick's, I was a producer on Nick's films.
Yeah, you were on a day. I mean, you usually weren't on set for most of Nick's films, but I remember you were on for Soliloquy, weren't you? For at least a little while.
I was there, yeah. Because I recorded some audio, I feel like, with some of the gear that we're actually using today.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So you were there.
Kudos to KVT Productions for this audio quality that you're listening to right now.
That's, by the way, that's all of Brandon. He's patting himself on the back there.
Tim, can you do me a favor? Give me a fresh black helmet. A fresh black, yeah, fresh.
I thought you already asked for one.
I did. She doesn't like me.
Oh, really?
She does. Yeah, I just.
I can't promise you what you expect.
Black helmet. Pervert.
If you see him going into the restroom, you'll know it's probably not beer.
Shirt's untucked. Look at this. We like to have fun here. We have fun here. All right, we'll get back to the film. Sorry.
It's all right. We talked about probably a lot worse on.
Yeah, I guarantee that you've had worse on your podcast than we did.
Well, I was talking about. What was it the one I did with Joe?
The foul language.
Joe and Ian, where we said the C word.
We don't.
50
As
times.
actresses and actors, we don't ever use.
You don't ever use vulgarity of any
No,
kind.
no. Oh my God, no.
You're not,
and if you brought that up in this
Listen,
podcast,
my
I would
nickname
be.
is Gina.
Gina.
Okay, on set, yeah, we probably.
Gina.
Yeah, we never knew her as Jenna.
No.
We knew her as Gina.
Gina. Yeah.
Recently, well, Jeff, you gotta make the light of the sets that we have, Steve, you know for a fact that, another black helmet, please. Thanks.
Good thing you ordered it, I didn't.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, because he was just waiting over there.
No, I think that the one part about our sets that were so much fun though was that we had that constant, lighthearted, like fun atmosphere that like you could walk into our set, except for one time that Steve Kroner, my director of photography, he got upset with me one time because he literally had not slept all night long.
Well, yeah.
And he showed up late because, thank you, he had been literally working all night long and they hadn't cut him. And he showed up late and I said, and I quote, guess who's getting castrated on my film set today? And Steve Kroner looked at me, he's like, sorry that I had to work late. And I looked at his eyes and he legitimately looked upset with me. And I looked at Nick and I walked off set. I was like, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to make him mad. Like, he's like, no, he's fine.
Yeah,
and I apologize to you, but it was because you had been working, which he had done many, many times, and kudos to you
Yeah,
for
there
working.
was several days that I was running off of no sleep. So
and I feel like
at that time I was working a night job.
Yep. And I feel like you had probably at that point worked several days in a row, night turn. And it was, but again, thank you very, very much for your efforts because I know that to go to work all night long and then show up on set and work.
Well,
I mean, what did we do? 12 to 16-hour days? We're not talking about, a small, it's a lot of effort that goes into it. So I do appreciate all your efforts. And,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
although I
no
busted your chops about it that day.
It's not a big deal.
I clammed up real quick.
No, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it was definitely, it was hard for a little while when I was still working that night job, but I was still the reason that I came on set was because I definitely wanted to be there. So even if I wasn't like sleeping for more than 24 hours, it didn't matter to me because I just wanted to be on set and I wanted to.
Which I feel like for our shoot, you probably didn't sleep for 75% to 80% of it, especially West Virginia.
Yeah.
Did you have to drive the whole way down there?
No, West Virginia. I made sure that
You got yourself a good night of sleep?
Yeah, I think I did. Because I knew that was going to be a big shoot. I didn't want to be dead for that one.
It was fun though.
Or sleeping in a cell.
Yeah.
We could have. We had bunks there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on productions where I've been running off of no sleep, and I'm literally just useless. And I just don't want to do anything, and I just sit in the corner. I'm just I don't want to. I don't know why I'm here in the first place. But this was not the case. So.
Well, let me reverse this then, and let me ask you a question. Working with us as actors and actresses, what was one of your favorite parts out of the movie? As far as working with actors and actresses and filming us.
Oh, jeez.
Totally flipping script on you. I know.
Yeah. Put me on the spot here. I guess it would just be to see you guys perform. To see how you take what is on the script and bring it to life. Because everyone has their own way of doing it. Everyone has their own way of preparing for a scene. Everyone has,
Or not preparing.
Yeah, there was a lot of you remember that,
preparing.
and we made poor Hania. He was losing his mind at times. He'd come up to Nick and be like, "Oh, listen, Brandon," Brett doesn't know his lines, so what should we do? And Nick's like, "No, that's fine. That's just what we."
Yeah, that's Brett.
That's how we rolled.
Brett probably did 90% of it
Off the cuff.
off the cuff. Yeah. Just kind of did his own thing, and it was fine for his character. It just kind of worked out. But yeah, so it was really cool to see, the way that Brett works or the way that you guys worked. Everyone has their own method of preparing for a role. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
I remember the first day we shot, we did my section, and then after we were done with that, they're like, okay, get ready because we're going to shoot another part of your scene. And I was like, wait, what? And I had lines, actual lines. I didn't have to moan and groan because I was in pain. It was more lines. And I was like, wait, I have to memorize this stuff in 5 minutes? They're like, yep, we're starting in 5 minutes. And I was like, shit. So not prepared.
But
I made it work.
Yeah, it's kind of like the job of the actor is being able to kind of make it work.
Yeah.
Right, and there was a lot of times on our sets that you don't know as an actor how to act or react to a scene until you place yourself into that scene, and that I feel like goes a long way. I was not a part of some of the scenes that you were in, but I think that when I would walk into a certain scenario or a certain situation, again, there's lights all around you and lights going, it's when you think about that character and you think about all that, I would do lines over and over again with Brett and Nick, and it wouldn't ever click until I'm under the lights and in front of the camera. Yeah. There was no getting into that character like there was when you're actually in the scene. And again, a lot of people might watch this podcast after the fact, but I feel that there were parts at the end of the film that those parts, I didn't see myself getting into character until I'm in that actual scenario that you guys all lit and put together.
You can't think about it when you're there. You just got to do it. You can't think. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
So, but in beforehand, when you're preparing, you're thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to improvise this? And then when you're in those lights, that's when it just the magic happens.
Yeah, you got to be what you're meant to be.
Right.
Exactly.
I feel like too with filmmaking, I would imagine that's. I haven't done a lot of auditions. Nick would know this way better than I would, but auditions got to be tough because you have to think of yourself in that situation. For us, it was when we walked in on set. That's whenever I could put it on. We would be laughing, having a good time, and then boom, as soon as we walk in on set, it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
It's that is the beauty though of filmmaking. I think it's really really cool to put yourself in that scenario and situation.
Yeah.
I just watched our director walk past us. And did you notice that there's little tiny fleas that keep flying into the frame here?
Yeah.
While we're shooting. Sorry, anyways, I didn't mean to get off topic, but let's go on with the podcast.
Yeah. take a big gulp of that.
I will. By the way, Rivertown's Black Helmet beer is phenomenal. This is I've had a couple.
You've had a couple.
Just a handful.
Gotta loosen yourself up.
Gotta loosen myself up here for this podcast that we're all tuning into.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
A little loosey-goosey, if you will.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah. So, where's that menu at that they had?
It's right here.
Tim, do you still have that? Tim, do you still have that menu? I want to read a couple things here. No, that's the beer menu, the one with their food.
By the way,
Tonight is Wednesday, by the way, and they have their wing night on Wednesday night for 75-cent wings.
hey, what did your camera just shut off? By the way,
Which one?
That one.
No, that one's fine. That's fine. That was one that's on you. The other one's this one's.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
This
just
one
want to
here,
make sure.
this one here shit the bed though. That's what happens when you run off a battery. But
Oh, I shit the bed. Okay.
well, no, that one. I'm talking about this one right here.
The one that's tucked underneath the other one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Thursday's their cheesesteak mania, which they have
Tuesday.
some.
Thursday.
Today's Wednesday. Today's their 75-cent boneless or split wings. I feel like we got to give them the cheap plugs. You know what I mean? We have to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's,
Wednesday night, boneless wings or split wings for 75 cents a piece. Thursday night, though, cheesesteak mania. Brewer's beer cheese, thinly sliced grilled ribeye, top of that sounds breathtaking, actually. I'm sorry, I blacked out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, no, Shiner, Cajun black, thinly sliced ribeye. I'm going to be honest with you. You guys got to...
I'm
taking this-
really good.
Tell you what, I'll tell you what. I'll just take this with me, and I'm going to post this all up right on as the title itself, because they all sound awesome. And there's approximately 6 different cheesesteaks that they have here, and I can sit here and talk about it, but nobody's listening because this is live. So I'll post it up there, and I'll put it on the actual podcast itself.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's pretty much. I mean, I guess you could say that Rivertown is our sponsor for this.
they
because-
absolutely are. Yeah,
because
Rivertown
they-
has been. We filmed. Let me see here now. We filmed the bathroom scene because they have. Oh, they got great bathrooms. Great bathrooms. I mean, really nice.
Really nice.
No, we did
Yeah,
shoot. We did shoot. a
Well,
bathroom
I
scene
mentioned
here.
on the previous podcast that for that bathroom scene, I saw
What's that?
I saw more penis than I wanted to in my entire life. In that one shoot.
My small film sets are here to deliver. Okay. So, length and width.
I mean, it's not like
Oh,
and
boy.
Brett's not shy about whipping out his penis.
No, he's really not. No.
That's what I heard.
No, no, he's not at all. And it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's really not. I do think, though, that for Rivertown, thank you
Oh, yeah.
for having us here. And 2, we shot probably one of the sweetest, it was, the Steadicam shot that we got here was so awesome. Because and if you've seen the film, hopefully tuning in. If you haven't, please get to the theaters on next Tuesday and check it out. But there is a shot inside Rivertown Poorhouse here that I feel is one of the nicest, most well-shot clips
Yes.
I have honestly ever had a chance to edit and film. It was awesome, and it completely captured what I was looking for as the writer. It was an awesome experience. It was great. Rivertown has taken good care of us. Again, get down here in Monroeville if you haven't been to Rivertown Poorhouse. They have some of the best beers and best food you could ever ask for. And my
yeah.
personal favorite is the Buffalo Tater Tots. This is, again, another cheap plug for Rivertown, which they didn't even ask me for, but I'm going to give them it.
Rivertown is a great place.
Great food, great fun, and good friends.
I picked the worst time to mention Brett's penis in the middle of that plug there, but
Yeah, we didn't even I don't know if they even serve knockwurst. I don't think they do. But I
that?
feel like that would be a good time to plug Brett's penis if they serve knockwurst and brats.
all right.
She chose to come on this podcast, by the
Yes.
way.
Chose.
The only female out of the whole group that decided she was going to
Yeah.
let herself be known.
Yep.
Well,
And
we're
we
having
appreciate it. We do appreciate it.
But
you know what? We
we're
really
a
do.
fun group of people.
we really are.
And that, like I
I mean,
mentioned,
this is just a little bit of what the background scenes were. That's for sure.
Minimal stress and maximum hilarity at all
yes,
times.
yes.
We did. No, we had a great time on all of our sets. I feel like there was a lot of great times to laugh and have fun, and I made so many good friends through this movie, and bringing people in and watching you guys work and do what you do. you all have an amazing craft as Pittsburgh filmmakers, or filmmakers, I should say, not just Pittsburgh. But it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun, and I do believe that like this podcast is a direct reflection that we had so much fun and enjoyed ourselves. That's the way a film set should be. I understand that film sets are sometimes there's a lot of moments where you
Want to kill somebody?
Yeah, you want to, like in your movie, you want to kill someone.
Well,
but
I mentioned before when I was talking about, that there was a time or two that I might have wanted to kill Nick, but that's usually the relationship you have between a director and a director of photography. So
yeah, again, that's why I feel like I put the director.
He's
I know. I was kind of hoping he was behind you. That's why I kind of put that director, patch on his like right on his shirt, not mine, because you guys were the two that worked directly together more so than me. Kevin Hania would be one that would ask me to come in and look over the shoulder and stuff, but I feel like you guys manned that ship more than anybody on set.
I mean, but when it comes down to it, I would say it's your movie, though.
It is. No, there's no question about that. This is still my baby, and this is still my film.
Yeah.
But it's all of you guys that made this happen and made this work.
Yeah.
Again, kudos to all of you. It's flipping awesome.
You definitely made this happen in your own way. So
I appreciate it. I think that, and I want all of you guys to know how much I appreciate everything that you did for me. Literally, actresses, actors, everybody put forth a lot of effort and time and money as well. Steve, there was even times where you were like, well, look, if I need to throw in some money for this lighting system or whatever, I'll do it. Like that to me goes a long way and goes, it's not about making money, it's about making a great film. And I hope that can be on. I truly do believe that what's on screen and what everybody will see on Tuesday night.
Oh yeah. The chemistry is definitely present within the movie. Everything that happened behind the scenes everything that happens in front of the screen is a reflection of what happened behind the scenes.
It's almost like we didn't even make a horror film, though. That's how fun it was. Everybody just had so much fun.
Because it's everything that you see on screen is complete opposite of the mood. The mood is the complete opposite of what happens behind the scenes. Because we were all just having a good time, having some laughs, and just enjoying ourselves while we were making this.
I'll tell you what, that was probably the hardest part, is that there were some very emotional scenes in the film. And getting into character when you walk, from behind the scenes and then in front of the camera. The hardest part is taking yourself from that element of being cheery, having a good time, to complete sadness right in front of that camera.
Yeah.
That was something that literally, and then this is not a joke, Fireball helped me do it. Nick literally as a director sat me down and talked to me and said, I need you to be this kind of character. And I'm going to let you take these headphones. I need you to listen to this music. And I was like, I need a couple shots and just get myself to that point where you draw in that sadness.
Yeah,
and it's
work yourself to tears.
You do. Yeah, absolutely. And on our set, we had, there was points where we had 15 people behind cameras that I literally was goofing around with, and that might be one of my faults, is that I love to goof around with people and have a good time. And then I walk in front of the camera and I have to be a completely different person. But again, that's acting.
That is the majesty, the magic of acting, is that you are able to do that, and kudos to you guys for doing it so well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. I do. I hope that in the end, although we all it was like hanging out with your friends and making a movie, which again, that was the Adam Sandler joke or whatever, is that he would always have his friends on set.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we've made a good movie up to this point. We've had a great time doing it, which a lot of times filmmaking isn't that way.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it's all the people that you work with, though.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said, you make friends. And the only person that I knew out of this whole thing in the beginning was Brandon. And then I met Nick and a couple of the other guys at the gym. But then when I came in on that first set that I did, that's when I got to know everybody, and it actually was more like a family, like that. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just so chill and cool and accepting and inviting and everything, and that's what makes it easier to be on camera that way too, to where you're laughing and having a good time, and then all of a sudden you got to be like drawn into that character, and that's but it's easier when you're around people that you're comfortable with.
Oh, absolutely. And I emphasized this before, and I'll emphasize it again. I mean, if the chemistry is not there on set, it is represented within the film. Even if you're just if you're starting out and making your first film, and I didn't mention this on this podcast today. When even if it's just you and a group of friends that are just making maybe if you don't even have any experience at all, but you have an idea. I mean, if you all get along, you all bond, that's going to make for good chemistry when you're making this. I mean, it doesn't matter what equipment you have, how much experience you have, if the chemistry, if the chemistry's not there, it's not going to make a good film. I mean, even if you have all this expensive equipment and you're a bunch of professionals, if you can't get along with each other, it's not going to work.
Right.
So.
Right.
No, we definitely had that. There was so many times where we had that. Again, I do believe that everybody's going to see this on film. That we had all those moments where we all got along so well, and we gelled perfectly as a group of filmmakers. I don't want to ever put. Jenna's not just an actress. I'm not just an actor. You're not just a director of photography. We're all filmmakers here.
Yeah.
And we love what we do, and we love being a part of this whole process. I've had people ask me a couple of times, like, "Oh, are you this bigwig producer or whatever?" I'm like, no, not at all. I'm the farthest thing from it. In fact, I probably have less production value to a team than anybody, because you guys are truly the magic makers of making this film happen. Steve, without you, we don't have your camera. Without you, we don't have your lights. Without you, I don't have the opening of my film. There are all of those things that go into it that make a movie happen. And I'm not sitting there just trying to, kiss the ass of all the people that work for me, but it's 100% true. Tim, who's back there cramming food in his mouth hole.
How's that fry, Tim? Is that a good fry? Bacon cheddar fries.
He's eating bacon cheddar fries.
Plugging Rivertown again.
Again, plugging.
Tell us how good those bacon cheddar fries are, Tim.
Good, you can't hear my voice.
So good, you can't hear his voice right now because he's not mic'd up, but he's telling you
I hear shoveling it
to get those bacon cheddar fries because he is enjoying them.
Shovel it like you're eating rice, baby, with some chopsticks, right?
Every last bit.
So you're out to be licking the plate.
It's okay, Tim. This is a judgment-free zone. You're fine.
Yes.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, so totally.
We're speaking nothing but great things.
The only thing we judge you for is, your past actions and your previous life.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's not just. This could be a whole other podcast for another time. On a serious note, I just want to say that guy back there, which the cameras can't see right now, is another one that manned the ship with Steve and Nick that made this all come to fruition. It's been awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I even mentioned before, there was one day that I couldn't be on set, and he took over for me. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So, I appreciate the hell out of him for doing that because, I mean, we all have, our little emergencies we have to go through because obviously we all
remember that. I do remember that day because that was something that I was concerned about. But again, Tim knew how to pick up because you guys had worked together on so many different shoots and worked together on this film that he made it run smoothly. Yeah, absolutely. So I do remember that, and that was a tough day.
Yeah, but I appreciate Tim, stepping in for me on that, and just everything that he did for me on this production. I wouldn't have been able to do, half the stuff that he did without him. So, You know, it's definitely, you know, all the lighting, you know, probably about 80% of the lighting that was done on this shoot. You know, we have Tim to thank for that, you know, helping me out to set up all that lighting. So
Yeah, I mean, even day one, we only rented. What was the name of the dance studio? We were at
a dance studio.
I'm sorry.
It was a theater.
A theater that we had rented out for the opening sequence of the film.
That's right.
And
Yeah, Sharpsburg.
I believe that Tim and we also rented a vehicle full of production equipment. Again, we couldn't afford like trucks or anything like that, but we did. Literally, Tim Roberts packed his little Hyundai Elantra filled to the brim with like flags and C6.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Tim-
buddy, I'm throwing you under the bus.
Tim always had all that stuff.
Is it still kicking? No.
I'm driving better now.
Oh.
Driving
All right.
better.
Well, the Hyundai Elantra.
What is it?
Ford Transit Connect passenger wagon.
I don't
wouldn't
even know
expect-
what that is.
Nope. Neither do I. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't expect anything less from you. All right. So
all he had to
nonetheless.
say was wagon.
Tim.
That's it.
Yeah. So bottom line, Tim Roberts now is driving a wagon. But the day
I
that
believe
we were,
the nickname for it is the Shaggin' Wagon. Is it not?
No, it's not, because once I do that, I can't get free candy anymore.
I don't know if you guys can hear this.
No free candy. Oh yeah, do you have free candy painted on the side of your? Okay. It goes back to what we talked about in the last podcast.
Okay, well, I'm still on the outside. Nonetheless, Tim would pack his little Hyundai Elantra at the time, filled to the brim, and we shot everything at this theater. Like, what would you officially call
A
it?
theater.
It's a theater?
Yes.
Here's the
It's a
thing.
theater because they had shows there. Like it was in a dance
I
studio.
listen. I respect that, but there was more rooms in this building.
There was.
That
Wait,
do
that weird
It
lab
was
place?
weird. It was
Yeah, oh, yeah.
creepy.
Yeah,
Now
okay.
it's
Okay.
creepy. It wasn't before when I knew about it.
Literally, we walked into this place, and I don't know what they're operating, and that's their business, not mine.
idea.
But I will say one thing: it provided the greatest location, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys set up kinos, you set up lights, you set up a whole scene in this one room, and you'll see it at the beginning of the film, and it was gorgeous. It was awesome. I mean, it literally makes this whole movie. It sets the tone for the whole film, and you'll see Gena in it at the very beginning, and it completely captures what I was looking for as far as the writer of the film. And again, kudos to you, Steve, and to you, Tim, cramming bacon into his mouth hole.
Yeah.
Complete efforts put on by you guys to make this all happen. So,
Oh yeah.
anyways, go on. Sorry. I feel like I've kissed a lot of ass on this podcast.
So the title of this episode is Brandon Kisses Ass.
All right, yeah. So we can So producer Brandon kisses a shit ton of ass. No, I can't say that either. That sounds real gross. Brandon Keenan kisses a lot of ass.
Kisses
Podcast.
That's still is about the same thing.
Welcome to the brand. Can I rebrand this podcast as
You
the
could, you
Brandon
could.
Kisses Ass podcast?
Yeah, we just start with me just kissing a ton of ass. Ton of ass.
All
He was
right.
proud of it.
Real
We're
proud
just
of it.
lots
Maybe
of
you should get
ass.
another black helmet when you get a minute. A black helmet. No, another beer.
You should. Not a real helmet, a beer.
Yeah. Oh, you can put a helmet on me too. I don't care.
It might be more interesting with him.
I'm the one that has
Yeah.
to cut this anyways.
I kind of need a spoon for this right now anyways.
That is
Need a spoon
that
for
is a
all that
lot of
bacon?
bacon.
Not left behind.
And you're
No bacon left behind.
no bacon left behind.
No bacon left behind.
Not at all. Not at all. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, Steve. I feel like we've gotten off topic a little bit. Also, one thing I can plug easily. I have 4 tickets here in my hand, which has Gena on the front. The front ticket cover.
Oh, look at that.
So I have 4 tickets that I am going to give away. I was told by my publicist, and my publicist is me.
I thought it was going to be Nick
No.
for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, according to Nick, we're going to be giving away 4 tickets for the premiere, general admission. So if you're tuning in right now, please do me a favor, hit the like button on Facebook on this podcast, and we will select randomly, and I promise it will be random, as random can get, for these 4 people to the premiere.
Four tickets.
Red carpet event.
Four. I forgot that camera's not on. I'm like pointing to that.
This one right here
That
is.
one is on. Okay.
We've got four free tickets to whoever decides to hit the old like button, and we will select.
Support the what are they liking, the Body Farm movie page?
No, just this podcast. All you have to do is like this podcast.
You won't be disappointed.
4 free tickets.
Oh, so the this pod, I don't think this podcast has a Facebook page.
No, I meant the like on the podcast Facebook that I make on KBT Productions.
Oh,
It's
okay.
another cheap plug for me to get
Oh,
KBT.
you're plugging KBT again. Okay.
or Body Farm.
Or Body Farm.
It's all one big entity.
By the way, if you watch Body Farm, just to throw Brandon under the bus
I knew
here,
this was coming.
you will see lots of KBT logos, at least unless you cut all those out.
Yeah, I do that.
Because you're wearing a KBT hoodie through like 90% of the film.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, do you really want to go through it all and blur it out? I mean, come on. I the size of me, you're talking about like.
But what else would he wear?
I don't know.
I'm not wearing any KBT stuff right now, at least.
Well, look
now.
at that. You're wearing
Yeah, but I
your
am.
nice button-up shirt.
I gotta sit beside him.
Oh yeah, there's
while
the
I'm wearing
KBT
it.
Productions.
It's on here on the tickets, okay?
It's on the movie
that?
poster as well. You can't see it because it's kind of black and white there, but
Yep,
Yeah,
it's right
I
there.
feel like Nick did. He got these posters printed so that the my logo would be subjected
blends in with the back.
But nonetheless, seriously, if you guys like the podcast tonight, please make sure to hit the like button. We're gonna select at random 4 free tickets. So
Awesome.
want to give that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like his page.
Love to see you guys there. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a great time. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And you might not win any prizes, but go ahead and like Cipher Media's page too. Just give myself a plug, Lou.
You know what? I don't have my phone on me because if I did, I would take a Cipher Media selfie right now on this podcast.
on this pod, I think we did that the last time anyway. So
Oh, you know what?
Remember?
Tim just offered me a cell phone. Why don't we do a quick Cipher Media selfie?
are we doing a Cipher Media selfie right
Just
now?
real quick. Cheap plug. Cheap plug. No dick pics are allowed though. Okay. General
It's okay because Brett's not here. He can't whip his dick out. So.
What are you doing?
Camera's facing the wrong way there.
Perfect. Great Cipher
All
Media
right,
selfie.
great Cipher Media selfie.
Anyways, I
Send
feel like
that
we
to me if you
probably
can.
haven't covered nearly enough, and what are we working with time wise? Man, I don't even know what time it is.
We are at 8:56. I don't know how long this episode has been running. In total, we're almost at 2 hours.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, again. I don't want to keep you. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to grill us. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I'm trying to think of some good questions that we haven't covered already. This is tough. I know. I try to let the guests just like drive the podcast. That way, I don't have to ask questions all the time.
I'll be honest with you. I can.
He dragged it, so
Yeah.
I did. I know. I did.
Yeah. You drugged me into this.
sorry.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Do you want me to ask a couple of questions?
Yeah.
give me
Wait,
a-
are
give me
you
a-
asking me questions? Or
No,
you
I'm going to
asking-
ask you one.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay. Ask.
So,
Okay, great.
as being one of only the what do we have? Like 5 women on part of my set, which I got yelled at, by the way, for not having enough women on set.
And
That's
then
not-
you brought on Amber.
Yeah, Bobby's little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told everybody that you're not allowed to hit on Amber or talk to her in a derogatory sense at all. But for this one,
And then
she-
there, not to go off topic here, but then there was that one time where she's like on top of you, straddling you during that scene because. Do you remember that?
Oh, I know. I know all about that.
Oh, was I not supposed to
sure
talk
you-
about
I
that?
was-
No,
So you wanna put this on
no.
camera?
You're
I'll
different.
just say,
Go-
I'm on mic.
Tim needs to get mic'd up.
I met Amber when she was like 4 years old.
Yep.
She was at the ice rink. And my brother played with Bobby and Brandon. Like my brother's older than me.
Okay.
I met her when she was like
So Amber was Amber was when I first met her, same thing. She was like 4 years old. So when she came in on set, obviously she had already been to college and she had more production value to add to the set than I did.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, we actually, Steve, you cramped up trying to spread eagle over top of me.
Well, I'm sorry that you have such a wide, like,
you know what? You're right. It's on me.
midsection.
It's my fault. My bad.
And no, it's solely because I am not flexible at all, and like if I have
And
to.
I believe your quote was, "Oh God, I'm cramping. Nope, I can't do this. I can't."
Yeah,
do
no,
this."
it hurts so bad that I had to get off of you because I had to be right over your face, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shot?
Yeah.
So I had to be like, and you were laying down.
So to get back to what we were talking about,
Holy
Gena
mackerel.
was one that she was part of the first day of production, but like we didn't have a lot of females that were part of the set of a bunch of guys, which was basically fart, shit, and poop jokes, and you know.
Yeah.
So do us a favor, take the microphone, and you discuss being a part of this group. And you were there from the beginning of production and the end of production,
Yeah.
and this is in a 3-year time span. So I feel like Gena probably could give a perspective of what it was like the first day and how we hit a bunch of hurdles, and yet at the end of the day, or at the last day of shooting, how it was ran.
Well, I mean,
That slipped.
my first day of shooting, like obviously I didn't know anybody right off the bat. So, I was just knowing Brandon, but gosh, I mean, yeah.
Don't look at me for confirmation. You're the one that had to get in there half naked.
I was the only girl there until some of the other like girlfriends showed up just to kind of watch. But I'm used to being around men, like guys, because I have a brother, and poop, shit, fart, burp. I'm used to it. And now I have a son,
Just
so
be
it's
honest.
even worse.
Just be honest. You're on movie sets that have lots of dudes.
Yeah, and they're crazy dudes, and they're very, very out there.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
No, but it was fun in the beginning and fun my last day of shooting. I mean, that nobody changes as a person, but the fact that I don't know, it progressed a lot as to the professionalism. You learn a lot about a person whenever you're working with them. So you learn about like their funny quirks, but then you learn about the seriousness about it too. So, in the beginning and then the last time I shot, like I had to be serious. There was no funniness to my character. So, for me, I don't know, I kind of had to stay the same. But everybody else, it progressed a lot as opposed to the professionalism of it.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like we as filmmakers grew a lot.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, definitely.
In three years of filming, we learned how to work with each other. Like I said, by the end, I've said this on a couple of interviews now, we were a well-oiled machine by the end of this.
Right.
The first day of shooting, it was all brand new to most of us. Aside from Nick, Steve, I don't know how many shoots you were cinematographer for, but I had never partaken in anything like this before.
Yeah. I've done pilots for, I did Nick's short films. I did a pilot for a series that never got finished. That was like my second project in Pittsburgh. I did, a couple other short films, but I've never done a feature like this before. So this was, and definitely of this scale, I've never done anything.
See, I can say being on set for major films, because I was on Southpaw, and then I did Concussion. But when you're just an extra from that, like for a feature, like for a big feature film like that, and then I kind of look back to that, and then I look back to this film, I felt like this was more it was more like fast paced. It wasn't like, okay, you stand around and wait, you stand around and wait. No, you shot, you kept doing it till the directors thought it was perfect. And like, okay, nope, keep doing it. Nope, go back, do it again. When you're on the major films, it was more like, okay, you stand around and wait, and then they wait for the actors, and then they wait for this person, and they wait for that person. Then you're literally like taking an hour just waiting. When I worked with you guys, it was like, okay, let's do it. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And that's what I loved about it, because you're not standing around and waiting. Like you're working, and you're working hard. It's not like you're just.
Yeah, I believe that a lot of that comes from the fact that we were on a low budget. I mean, an extreme low budget at that.
Time was precious. Time was money.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, get in there, get your parts shot, and
you were renting out these places so that we could only use them for certain amounts of time. So like we had to get in there and get what we needed, and
And I had complete trust in everybody. Like Nick, I knew would get the shots that he needed, and we would discuss this the day before. But the actors and actresses that were on film, you believe in them, like, and you know that they're going to work hard and do well for you. Jenna's scenes that she had, there was several intense moments that it wasn't just her. It was special effects, like everything. Like, and that goes to Rachel, who did some of the special effects the first day of shooting. You have to believe in them, and you have to believe that they're gonna take care of you and do what's right. Out of everything that I edited, I really feel like there was minimal, like everybody's like, oh, there's gonna be so many behind the scenes or like, mess ups and stuff. There wasn't that many. There are some, yes, don't get me wrong, but there's minimal. We would take 5 to 6 takes of something. One of them, there was like, the goofing around joke mess up scene, but you have 5 great takes in a row, and that I think I commend my crew and for their efforts, because that's what makes it go so smooth and make you literally go straight to work, and there's no sitting around waiting. There were some moments where we had people that probably had to wait around to do like the restaurant scene and things like that, but I do believe that like we were understanding of people's time, and respectful. I do think the word respect is big time on the stuff that we've shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, yeah.
I'm getting off topic and just jumping around all over the place, but I do think that I commend you guys, Steve again, you, Tim, Nick. Like, it's been an awesome ride, and I do hope that this isn't the end game.
Yeah.
Definitely. I hope this is just the beginning.
Hopefully, we get the chance to do this again. And
absolutely.
Hopefully, it'll be sooner rather than later. So.
Right.
You got the next script ready, right?
Well, if you talk to Nick, Nick's already started writing, so.
Is this a sequel or is this something different?
Oh, no, it's a sequel.
Oh, it's a sequel? Okay.
Not to give anything away towards the end of the film, but there's already moments that we've discussed that we want to.
There's room for growth.
There's room for growth, yeah. But there's room for growth with not just within the movie, but within everybody that took part in the first one. So
we can make the next one better with
absolutely.
hopefully a bigger budget, more.
Right. Imagine if we had started this movie, learning everything that we did in 3 years. Imagine if we started from the very beginning with all that knowledge. I do believe that we have potential, all of us as filmmakers, to keep on going and continue to be better and be great.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So
we'll definitely. You guys watch out for Body Farm 2. That's going to be coming real soon. No, I don't know when that's going to be coming, but
when it does, we're going to decipher the media.
We're going to decipher the media on that one.
We're going to decipher the media.
There's a lot of deciphering of that media. And this has been the rebranded Brandon Kisses Ass podcast. We appreciate you all joining us.
Yeah, and I appreciate you all giving the opportunity to kiss Steve's ass and Tim's ass. And my own ass and Jenna's ass. I thank you guys. You've given me great opportunities to kiss ass. It's great.
There's lots of ass kissing. We do a lot of ass kissing on this podcast. So where can we find you guys, Brandon? I know you. Brandon's just giving me the finger for you people listening to audio.
Sorry.
It's hard to express the finger through audio, but if you're listening to that. that's what just
But
happened.
you appreciate a good middle finger, straight to your face.
Oh, I do.
Yes.
I do. I think you probably mentioned it on the first podcast we did where you were a guest on, but how can we follow you?
I'll tell you what, bodyfarmthemovie.com. Or I'm sorry, bodyfarmmovie.com, not the movie. Sorry. Well, that was the original website that we were going to go, the second website we were going to go with, but bodyfarmmovie.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at KVT Productions, or at Nickel17, at Body Farm Movie. If you get a chance, please go to the website, bodyfarmmovie.com. Right there, you can order your tickets there. We'd love to see you all there. It's a big red carpet event. More than happy to take pictures. We're going to have a big backdrop and everything, the whole deal. Professional photographer.
It's going to look like a real film premiere.
Like a real thing, a real deal. So no, I would love to see as many people as possible.
Yeah.
This is something that we've put our heart and soul into. And I say we as in we. There's a whole group of us. Mm-hmm. I want to see everybody there, and everybody that partook in it and that supports us. Go ahead.
And I've said to before, even if you're not a fan of horror films, even if you're just like, you enjoy the process of filmmaking, come out and support this film, because this was put together by, a good group of guys and girls in the film community, in the local film community in Pittsburgh. So
yeah, absolutely.
And
we've had a chance to work with some of the best filmmakers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We really have. I mean, just working with Kevin Hania, you Steve, Tim. It's been great, and I want all of our friends and family to be able to get there and see what we've worked so hard for. Again, I say we because we all did this together. This is a project that we all did. So.
Mm-hmm. And Gina, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gina.
Thanks.
How can we learn more about you or follow you? Are you, on online anywhere?
Yeah, I have a Facebook.
Okay.
Gena with a G, G-E-N-A, not G-I.
Yeah, it's not J-E-Y-E-N-U-H.
Yes. Okay. So I do. I have Twitter. I have Instagram. I have Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
And
find me
cheap
pretty
plug,
much
real
everywhere.
opportunity for a cheap plug, because this is the product that she sells, not me. CBD. Oh, no. What is it? It's
a pain relief.
Yeah, it's a pain relief cream. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. You're looking at a guy that had an extremely bad shoulder not that long ago, bad neck. I'm giving you the cheap plug, so I can do that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, nonetheless, CBD. Is it CBD Pittsburgh?
Simply CBD.
Simply CBD Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You
can find me on Facebook.
That was your opportunity to plug
website.
but you didn't do it. I had to do it for you. So. And again, and my cheap plug is KVT Productions, which if you want your wedding
Yeah, so that's
filmed-
my business.
Yeah, so anyways, you should just shut us now.
Oh man, yeah. If you guys want any more coverage on this, you want to keep watching these podcasts, check out these are my plugs now. Cipher
It's all you.
Cipher I Media, CipherImedia.com, at Cipher I Media on Twitter, and you can also follow me personally, SE as in Earl, SECRONER, on Twitter, on Instagram. That's where I do the Cipher I Media selfies.
I was just going to ask. You already covered it then. You got it. I was about to plug that if I didn't have a chance to, or if you hadn't done it.
And you can also check out SECRONER.com. I don't think I plugged this in the last podcast, so I might as well plug it now. All this stuff. To keep following the podcast, that's Decipher the Media on iTunes, on YouTube. It'll be in other places too.
One more thing. Rivertown Poorhouse tonight supplied this location for our podcast. Can't thank them enough. They allowed us to have this location. So if you get a chance, check out Rivertown Poorhouse. Amazing food right here in the heart of Monroeville.
Great
food, great drinks.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. So.
Look at that. We have sponsors this time. Or
Holy
at least,
shit. We have made strides from day one, haven't we?
Yeah. So
Thank you very much, Steve, for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming
Absolutely.
on.
Thank you.
It's been a day.
This has been a Cipher Media production. For more, go to ciphermedia.com.